Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you. Today we're going to take a look at a Rough Rider mini trapper. So I've been collecting Rough Riders for a couple years and I wasn't really aware of many mini trappers. They have the white bone and then they have a denim mini trapper, but didn't see very many. I would call this a brown bone, although it might be kind of an autumn. This is what our bone is looking like, and I haven't seen this bone on many Rough Riders. It's not autumn, and I'm not aware of them doing a brown bone. But let's take a peek here. The blade etch, I can tell you that that's an older one. We got the cursive Rough Rider, R-I-D-E-R. We got a tested sharp anvil, and we're taking, oh, this is definitely Rough Rider, tested sharp. Cutlery Company. I can tell you guys, I know a little bit about Rough Riders. That is definitely an early model. The beautiful thing is when you find these on eBay, you can find them for like 20 bucks. And I highly encourage you, they are totally worth the 20 bucks as a knife. And if they ever catch on as a collectible knife, something like this, because it's so early, it's such an early bird. Imagine having a case knife, you know, from 1920s. My God, they bring huge amount. So we're not talking 1920s, we're probably talking the turn of the century, but we're at 25 years. So let's talk about the knife. Nice half stop on this. Kind of was showing the blade centering, very happy with that. Ringed bolsters, kind of a little slant. These are all high-end features. Fantastic shield. It's a tiny bit crooked. Great bone, although I am noticing it pulling away right here. Now the good news is the pins are holding it on. The bad news is I bet it was glued. I think I don't know if I can I might try dropping some super glue and getting some kind of a clamp and really bring that together. But check out the springs on that. Fellers, I am here to tell you, if you're a traditional knife lover, I think you can already see decent build quality. The blades are centered, match strike nail mix. You can see the active half stop. Nice snap here. Okay. No model number, I don't think, on this. It's so early. It's made in China. Has 440 razor sharp steel. If we can get a peek at that somehow. It's on there. Take a peek at the edge. A little bit chippy, but I'm sure that's factory, and it's sharper than case by a long shot. My case knives rarely come sharp from the factory. Kind of a good looking Spey blade. Fantastic across there. This is Queen Cutlery smooth. You can see got some spring to it. That's what I like. Little push back, little snap into half stop, and a nice and easy. We'll pick this one just for comparison. You can see this is pretty fancy for case. They don't have a shield, so they did the kind of an engraved bolster. And you can see how Rough Rider can compete. If you see the video on this, you'll know that they do have thicker bone for a reason. Oh, and that's not the factory color. Rusty dyed that one. Little bit of a pull. It's a stronger pull than my case. My case is easier. makes it more active, more lively, if that makes sense. And I've done this before, so if you guys are with me, you've seen the blade comparisons. And very, very similar. Nice and snappy. Okay. They're very, very comparable. Okay. Ooh. I do kind of like how that case cants down. You can see it's pointed down, which is more than we're seeing out of our Rough Rider, but the Rough Rider has a broader end and a larger, and it's a match strike nail nick versus just a plain nail nick. Well, that's how we're looking. Oh, let's take a peek here. And yeah, very, very competitive. I want to say brand new. I think I paid, you know, the usual 65 to maybe 80 bucks for that. Lastly, we'll just throw it out there because sometime I'm going to be working on the video for this one. And this one was a 1982 Knife World, that would be Blade Magazine knife. So here's my Easter egg, or what you'll call, you don't see that every day. You might call it a mini trapper. This is brought to us by Cripple Creek. And they made 2000, you heard that snap. And they is largely a fella by the name of Bob Cargill. And I'll go ahead and share some information about Bob real quick. Bob was the guy at Case. And the guy, when you sent your knife in for repairs, Bob fixed Case knives. He worked in the repair. He was probably their lead guy. And then he decided to start his own company in 1981, got a contract to make 2,000 of these. Forgot to mention, this is number 1875. So each one was individually numbered. And the story was they were all completed by Bob and by pretty much by hand. He didn't have the large production factory. He dyed the bone, cut the bone, jigged the bone, probably made the springs, the liners. Not sure, he probably would have had to make the shield, the pins. And when you do the blades on this, boy, I'm getting long, versus this, this is a matter of stamping the blade, where it comes out in just a strip, and they stamp it out. And then they do their own grinds, probably done on a machine. 1982, he wouldn't have probably had the computer machine, so he had to hand grind the plunge grind. He had to hand grind the sharpening choil. And he would have done the... Anyways, I'm not doing a review on this. Fantastic knife. Hopefully the video will be out someday soon. Thanks, guys.